this is a problem with our sinful nature. If we decided to do this in our religious background, we'd probably have a class on it in seminary. Okay? And then we had those who were ordained, who could handle foot washing. Then we'd have the licensed foot washers, who just took that one class but didn't take the rest of them. But they got their certificate that said, foot washer. And here's what we would do. We would design a special stool for that person. And then we'd give them a special robe. A special foot washing robe that only the special foot washing people could wear. And then we would decide who gets their feet washed first. And of course we bring the elders up. Right? The elders would get their feet washed first, and then the diaconate, right? And then the junior diaconate, and then we'd probably go by row. Can you see it? Can you picture it? Right? Is that what Jesus was talking about? No, that's not what he was talking about. And that's certainly not how he would structure it. He's talking about having this heart of a servant, the way God has the heart of a servant, the way that Jesus revealed God's heart as a servant. And if you have that, it bypasses the whole who's the greatest arguments. It just kind of just nips them at the bud. John's hearers, they need to hear this. What do they want back? They wanted the hierarchy. Who's the greatest? Who's the next to the greatest? Who's the third greatest? How do we treat them? What's the special service again? I had experience in a church where the campus minister never had to mow his own grass. It was too important to mow his grass. And we had other people do that for him. We've got this problem. We've got this who's the greatest thing, folks. We have this. John's hearers had this. Somehow it is getting in the way of us seeing our God the way that He wants to be seen. I mean, think about it. And here's where you can be thankful for this, okay? God is a servant. What if it wasn't true? What if you needed to serve God? We talk about serving God all the time, don't we? What if you needed to do certain things? What if you needed to sing certain songs so God could make it to the week? What if you needed to bring certain offerings or God's kingdom would just fall apart? It wouldn't be much of a God, would it? Just think about the background these people had. Coming from their pagan background, where they had to serve their God. Did the gods appreciate it? No, they just expected it. Did they have days we call Thanksgiving? Gratitude wasn't a big deal. What has God revealed to you in this story? That He's not above washing your feet? Thanksgiving dinner paints a picture in your mind. Some of you think football, right? Some of you think dishes. Don't you? I mean, that beautiful, amazing meal, but somebody's got to clean up the pans. Somebody's got to wash all that china that can't go through the dishwasher. Who does it? Who does it? Well, there are people that are important that need to be able to sit on the couch and watch the football game, right? Yeah, those are the important. Those are the people that need to be served. They deserve to be served. They demand to be served, and they'll tell you when they're ready for a sandwich. Right? picture? Do we have those kind of ideas at home? Who is worthy of being served? And who has the heart of a servant? Do we have that picture here? I thank God for the people we have here at Southside Christian Church. I thank God for the people who, some of the oldest people we have that are here, opening doors, turning on air conditioning, starting the coffee. For the people who've taught year after year after year, they're willing to teach, or are here willing to clean, willing to paint, amidst all the gratitude they get. Well, they usually get criticism, right? But they have the heart of a servant, and they're here and they're pulling wires, or they're cleaning up things, and God has touched their lives, and He taught them something about His nature, and they are willing to do things that sometimes we don't even acknowledge. They're willing to come and practice a song, and we hear it for 3 or 4 minutes and say, well, that was nice. And they've practiced. How long to give that gift to us? We have people who have that heart as a servant because they have understood this story, that God is a servant, what He just taught us. And we're supposed to be like that. And the very last thing He says, once you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. These people don't do it for the gratitude. They don't do it for the recognition. They do it because it is being blessed to imitate God, who taught them, who was here and knew He was going back to the Father, and showed them the full extent of His love, and they feel it. And they feel blessed if they do it. That's different than feeling blessed only if somebody acknowledges it, or if somebody thinks it's worthy, if somebody wants to have your job. That's a different story. This comes as a blessing of being like your Creator, of understanding His servant nature, and saying, I can do that too. I can find a need. I can find a need, and I can do it. And I may try this one, and I may not be very good at it. And I can try some other one. I'll find a different one, okay? I can find some other need, and I can take care of it. And I don't need a program. And I don't need a special robe. And I don't need my name on something or something after my name. I saw a need. And I realized that God would take care of that. So I did it. He said, much better than winning the argument about who's the greatest is just understanding what God is like and imitating Him. This week, when we talk about Thanksgiving, and we talk about, okay, God provided. He provided our meals. He provided our health. He provided our security. He provided all of these things. He did, and you know why? Because He is a servant. God. He is. Thankful for His nature. Thankful that this is the nature of God. And this morning, as we celebrate that ultimate show of His love, we can be thankful that God is a servant. And He paid everything that we could possibly need to be paid. He took care of all those needs. Because that's His nature.